Hello and welcome to Adeckers Android training series. This week we'll be covering a wide range of topics during this series. All of will consist of a video. Some may consist of a text guide and a video. Today we're going to go through the setting up of the Android SDK right here with Eclipse. I chose Eclipse because Google recommends to use Eclipse. They recommend the Galileo's package. I don't know how you want to say it. But first we need to get the SDK, which I have here, and then we need to get Eclipse. I'm assuming that none of you have this, some of you might already, so just skip this part. Okay, so you're going to want to head over to the Android developers website. It is developer.android.com. You're going to see something that looks like this. You're going to head over to the SDK tab. Depending on what operating system you're using, download one of these. If you're on Windows, grab one of these. If you're on a Mac, grab that one. And Linux, obviously grab that one. And then we're going to want to head over to eclipse.org. If you want, you can pause the video and type in this entire URL. But you're looking for the Galileo's Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. You're going to want to get the EE version, which stands for Enterprise Edition, because that includes everything that Java needs. It includes all the files and everything for Android. Okay, so once you have all those, just get rid of this. We're going to want to open Eclipse. It's going to look something like this. You might have a welcome screen. If you have a welcome screen, there's going to be a little tab here. Just hit the X on the tab. It's about right here. And let's set this up. So, you're going to want to go to Help, Install New Software if you're on a Mac. I don't know where it is on a Windows, but it's around there. Find it. When you're going to see something that looks like this, you're going to want to click Add, and then you're going to want to type this in there. It's also located on this website right here, the Android SDK website. It's under installing the SDK and under installing the ADT plugin. All these instructions are right here. Everything for this video is also on this website. This is one of the best resource websites you can find for Android development. It has all the APIs, references, source examples, and a bunch of other stuff. So, once we do that, let's give it a name. Let's call it Android SDK. And since I already have it, it's there. It's already there. Once you hit enter on that, it's going to show up in here, and all you want to do is check this box here and hit finish, and it will install everything that you need. Okay, once that finishes, it might ask you to restart Eclipse. Restart Eclipse, and then when you're back into it, hit Window, and you should see something that says Android SDK and AVD Manager. Actually, never mind. Sorry, let's go back. Don't do that. You are going to want to go to the Eclipse Preferences, and then you should have an Android tab. It's asking for the SDK location. So wherever you put the SDK location, wherever it is on your computer, that's where you're going to want to put there. So in my case, it's on my desktop. It's right here. I'm going to hit Open, and I'm going to hit Apply, and then it's going to show up all the Android versions that are in your SDK. If you have the latest one, you should have, as of right now, you should have Android 3.0. Hit OK. Now that that's set up, you should be able to go, you're going to want to go Window, Android SDK, and AVD Manager. There is another way to get into this same thing where you'll have the ability to set settings. That way is by opening, if you're on a Mac, opening a terminal window. Or you can also do this on Windows. You're just going to type CD, and you're going to want to put the path to the Tools folder inside there. So how I did that on Mac is I just opened the SDK folder, took Tools, first I typed CD, then I took Tools, drug, and dropped it on the terminal window, and it automatically puts that path on there. Hit Enter. Now I'm in the Tools folder. Now I'm just going to type ./Android. And it's going to bring up the SDK and AVD Manager. And I'm in here. And here it is. As you can see, I have a Android 3.0 emulator already set up. There's settings here. If you're having issues just check this box here. If it's giving you errors that it can't find sources or stuff like that, if you're not able to connect to the official Android repository using HTTPS, enable this setting to force accessing via HTTP. I've had issues with it, so I have it selected. Okay. Get out of that. Back to Eclipse. Okay. Back to Eclipse. In here, you're going to want to go to Available Packages, and you're going to want to check everything that you want. I left out some of the stuff that I didn't need just to save some space, such as the third-party add-ons I didn't really pick, and I left the samples out because they just take up space, but I selected all this stuff here. So if you want, you can pause the video and look through what I selected and just pick what I have. I have all of the platform SDKs, so I can develop for everything from Android 3.0 on down, and just a few other things that were needed. So that's that. Now let's move into the Virtual Devices tab. This is where, if you don't have an Android device, you can still develop for Android by using this. Basically, it's an emulator. It emulates Android inside your computer. So I'm gonna walk you through making a new one. You're gonna click New. Let's name it. We'll make this one a gingerbread one. So Android 3.0. Android 3.0. Gingerbread. My target is going to be Android not 3.0, sorry, 2.3. Silly me. Android 2.3. Here is the SD card size in kilobytes or megabytes. Just set that to whatever size. So I'll hit 1,000 megabytes, which equals out to about 1 gigabyte. And I don't screw with any of those other files. Invalid characters. What's invalid? No spaces. Spaces are not allowed. Note to self. And we're going to click Create AVD right here. It's going to give us the little spinning beach ball while it loads and thinks. Android SDK stuff can be quite slow at times depending on your computer speed. I'm running this on a MacBook Pro 13-inch. It's usually a pretty fast laptop, but the Android stuff really slows it down. That could spin for hours, so maybe not. Okay, so it's there, and if we wanted to start it, I would just click Start and Launch, and it would come up with my emulator. Eventually. And here it is. It'll boot up into Android 2.3 Gingerbread, but we're not going to wait for that because that can take quite a while. Okay, there you have it. That's everything you need to know about setting up setting up Eclipse for Android development. Thanks, and I'll be making the next videos in the series soon.